spiritual stuff.
All right. Hello. Welcome. This is episode 3 of Spiritual Stuff
Spiritual stuff.
with your co-hosts
Chantsy.
and Reaya.
Woo!
I've had the giggles today. So everything that we've been trying to do, I just can't stop laughing. So I feel like I'm very much in my inner child, which is crazy because Chantsy and I were just talking about the full moon that occurred on the weekend and how we were feeling, because
the inner child.
The inner child. Yeah, I'm totally in my inner child right now.
Yeah.
Because I think it was on Wednesday last week and Friday last week, I was completely like, I had no energy. I was completely flat. Like all I wanted to do was lay down. I had work. I couldn't kind of sit still even if I had time. And I feel like there was a lot of integrating that was happening.
Yeah.
How were you feeling?
But what about the Thursday, the 1st of June, or
the portal?
That was definitely a portal.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing, because on the Wednesday and the Friday, my energy was like super low. I couldn't pull myself out. It felt like I always talk when I'm going through something or integrating, I feel like I'm in fog.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you can't see and the energy feels thick and dense.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. And then on the 1st, I was like a rocket that just launched into space, and I was connected to everything and everyone.
Yeah.
Like the messages and the channeling that I did for my clients on that day was like next level.
It was
even people that have come to me for a really long time were like, wow, you're just spitting that out and you're being so quick about it, and you're not, and I said, I know. It's like I wasn't even speaking.
Note to self, people, if you want to see Reaya, go on a portal day.
Go on a portal, because it's gonna rock your world.
Exactly. Good to know. Thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
It's just, it was the 1st of June was definitely a portal. Last week, which was the same week that we're talking about, leading up to the full moon, I was definitely lethargic. Like my body was like, I'm not going to do any hardcore exercise in the morning. I'm just going to walk and submerge myself in water. So my cards kept on coming out as ocean cleanse. And that 1st of June was just phenomenal. There was like a double rainbow. I was away in Umina, up the north coast of New South Wales, for a 3-week, not really a break, but it was to house sit for 3 weeks. And there was a double rainbow on the beach that morning at sunrise, and it was just amazing. And I met a mystic actually on that walk who I'd seen, a couple of weeks beforehand, but we actually stopped and had a chat. Because when you look at the rainbow, Reaya, it was like looking at, the 10 of Cups on a tarot deck.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. Like there were people underneath it. It was just like, is this even real? Anyway, bumped into a mystic. She reads Akashic records. It's crazy, the people that you meet on a 1st of June portal. On a portal.
It's because it's almost like there's this great aligning that happens on portals. Yeah. And we don't know how powerful they are. Most people don't even know when portals are happening.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something we need to inform our millions of viewers.
Millions of listeners. Viewers. Yeah.
About, because I feel like they're like, we step into higher consciousness, and in portals we upgrade. We have this activation that takes place. New codes come into our energy field. There's like this awakening that happens. It's like, I don't know why, but I feel like it's called secret formulating, like energetically, like all of these codes and energies being brought into us, and we just feel super powerful. And I think that's why on either side of a portal you feel completely flat, because there's a part of you that needs to submerge into this new energy. Maybe beforehand what's happening is actually you're letting go of this old way of being, which you don't even realize is happening. You step into the portal and you're like, hi, I'm here,
come at me.
And then the next day they're like, oh, we got some work to do. she needs to learn this, she needs this, we need to give her a little update on this, you know. And I feel like all of this energy kind of comes into play.
It's amazing. It's so cool. I mean, the energies are so intense right now, Raya. Like they're so amazing. I love it.
Yeah. And on Sunday, I actually did a little ritual, which I posted on my Instagram for those of you that are following me. And that was just lighting 2 candles. One candle you lit and you set your intention about something that you want to create. And it was reminding you of your power and your light that's within. And then you light the second candle, and the second candle was your remover of obstacles. And you place them side by side, and then you write down your goal or your intention, and then you write all your limiting beliefs or limiting thoughts, why you can't have what you're asking for. And they just came like,
yeah.
And then you get that and you literally burn it, and you say to the candle of obstacles, please release all of this energy that I'm holding within me around my goals and my dreams. And then you get this new piece of paper and you write down, like, in a different mindset of how it's all going to work out for you, and you realign your beliefs, and you say, like, I am willing to be open. I am willing to work with changes. I believe in myself. I know that things come easily to me. I'm aligning to my highest potential. It's like you just start to kind of write this letter or poem, or I don't know what it was exactly, but it just showed me that there was a way.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then they say to put it, either I put it in a box because I put all my secret stuff in a box, but otherwise you keep it where you can see it if it's really kind of uplifting.
Yep.
So that's something that you could do for any kind of full moon or new moon.
With the candles, so they're just next to each other, and then
I just had them side by side.
Yeah.
And then I wrote really, really small on my paper because I didn't want the house to go up in flames.
Yeah, that was me last night.
my husband was like, what are you burning in here? And I was like, just paper. He's like, what are you doing? Can't you go outside? And I was like, no, because I'm doing a ritual and I just need to. He's like, okay, I'm just going to leave her on her own.
But it's so, we were talking about this before, once you do that burn, and I don't know about you, Ray, I think this will be really interesting to hear, but I feel the shift like massively, like last night, and I know that I did it 2 days after the full moon, but it was literally when stuff was coming up for me, past life stuff, unbelievably. But as soon as you burn, you forget your body, you feel this uncomfortability.
Yeah. Well, also, how to explain it, when I was writing down all of the limiting thoughts and beliefs that I had, I didn't realize that so much was actually stuck. So just that acknowledgement for me of what I was actually projecting, which I didn't even know because I was just too busy trying.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so come back, be in the moment, and then be like, okay, I need to acknowledge that these things are within me.
Yeah.
But am I willing to change them? And am I willing to let them go?
Yeah.
So if I'm willing to let them go, I need to replace them with something else.
Yeah.
I need better feeling thoughts to start to align to, because I want to gravitate towards things really quickly.
Yeah. I normally do a bit of a gratitude list afterwards.
100%. That's another beautiful thing to do.
But last night, the papers just kept on burning, like, and like things just kept on coming up like sporadically, and I felt it move.
Wow.
Whatever it was that was stuck, it was in my solar plexus to start. It was stuck in my hip or my rib, and then it moved up to my heart. And this, I mean, you guys should really check out our full moon and new moon videos that we post up on the production portal, and Reaya puts up on her Instagram. Reaya. But yeah, we're making way basically for love and open communication. But yeah, I still feel it this morning, actually, like just a little bit of a something or other in my heart. But yeah, I'll move that. I'll move it.
Well, I feel since Sunday, I just feel like I'm in this higher state of consciousness, and I just feel like everything is moving, and the things that I'm thinking about are happening.
Yeah.
Like almost as I think about them. So I just feel like I'm really aligning to myself and to what my needs are, and I'm learning to tap into that and trust.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, how do I explain it? It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or feels about what I'm doing. It matters what I think and what I feel.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the more that I'm entrusting in myself, the more I'm just going to start to move ahead, because I'm not thinking.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm not thinking about how I am perceived, or I'm just going to be focused like on this channel.
And I think that was a big one for me actually last night. It was like, and it's all to do with your authentic self. You know, the full moon was the great I am, you know, and it was, you know, how, you know, conforming and, you know, how will this be perceived? I don't care, you know, like at the end of the day, this is my higher self talking to me. There is a deep knowing deep down inside that this is my path, and my intuition is spot on, and I'm listening to my intuition, you know, and funnily enough, if you think about the 1st of June, okay, that portal is the number 7, and this year is 2023, which is a number 7. So it didn't surprise me that was a portal, because it's the 7. Yeah, the year of sovereignty. But
where we're allowed to be seen, to be heard. I keep on banging on about it, but it's like, you know, I was talking with clients about self-worth, and how like for so long I suffered with feeling like I wasn't worthy, and I feel like I wasn't good enough, and I struggled for many years because of self-worth. You know, but self-worth is about what you are and how you perceive yourself. And if you allow someone else to validate who you are, you will always feel unworthy.
100%. And you don't know what other people are thinking about you. That's an assumption made, you know.
There's a saying, and I really love it. And the saying is, what other people think of me is none of my business.
Oh, I like that.
It's so good. I learned it when I was, I used to go to a healer when I think I was 16 or something. And she taught me that.
God, at 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she taught me that. My mom used to drive me all the way. I think it was like an hour's trip or something to go and see, like.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Just with this stuff as well, know that, like, because a lot of the stuff, again, that was coming up about self-worth for me last night actually had to do, and I know it, with a past life. So don't be surprised if it does go deep, you know, and obviously you're the only one who knows where that self-worth wound is coming from.
Well, it's interesting, right? You're talking about past lives, because
tell me,
little finger, because I was going back into ancestral. Like I was like, this is so deep. This has been ingrained in so many women along past, and it's just not my family. There's so many other lines, because women were always told to be at home, to stay at home, that, you know, so they just started to shy away from what they wanted, and just became complicit, if that makes sense. And like we're here, well, I feel like my generation is here to change that, and to change the dynamics of what family is, or how you need to be in a home. Like, you know, I have a husband who loves cleaning and loves cooking, you know. So it doesn't have to be the way it was, do you know, like men have to go to work and women need to stay home and clean. Like, that's definitely not my forte.
No, I'm not a cook, to be honest. I'm a cleaner.
But last night, actually, I did make this slice full of like, had nuts and seeds and just, and it's like this little bar, and you just take little bites, and it's jam-packed of nutrients. Sunflowers, hemp seeds. What else did I put? Pumpkin seeds, almonds, and you just mix it with oil and water.
Maybe you should put the recipe up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, there you
I found it via Instagram, my beautiful friend Instagram, whom I love with all my heart. I'm also addicted to, so I need to like, I don't know, find this balance with my friend Instagram.
That's all right. We all have one. We all
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are right. Hey, like we definitely are clearing those family lines and yeah, clearing.
Well, it's a time of great change.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us are also looking at the things that have happened, you know, the structures, government, all of that, how things have been, and how, I want to say, unfair the system is
Yeah.
for so many people. And
Yeah.
if we do things from a state of love and we do things with so much compassion in our heart, I feel like we will have the power to change that kind of
100%.
consciousness or the way
Yeah.
that things were, because we need to modernize, we need to step into new timelines, new energy. And I feel like a lot of what's being built, and I find this in most a lot of corporate jobs as well, is there's old timelines, you know, and they're still trying to work from those old timelines, and there's something that needs to shift. And I know a lot of companies are very modern and doing things in
differently.
a modernized way, but yeah, there's still lots of changes. We need to it's a fine line of like taking care of the people, but also then being assertive enough.
Profitable.
Yeah.
Because the thing is as well, like I had been reading, well, I'd been drawn actually to 18th century literature.
Wow.
And actually I'm going to share this with you guys. You're going to hear this first. And it was a farm called Brook's Farm that had started what I believe before the industrialization period had kicked off. And it was a whole heap of poets and artists and writers and teachers who had come together and created this utopia on a farm in Massachusetts. And to be honest, I really feel like they call themselves Transcendents. And I really feel like they were working from the 5D, to be honest. And it was that kind of, they probably all had a deep awakening. I haven't really delved too deeply into the literature. So if people do know about Brook's Farm, I do apologize. But yeah, so their mentality was that they were outside working out in nature and creating from working out in nature, but they had created a community, you know, and that's what these new structures are about. It's like going back to community, you know, and realizing that the government has been great, and not to poo-poo the government, but those structures are they within our best, do they have our best interests and intentions at heart? That's what, you know, that's what we really need to question. But yeah, so this beautiful community of Brook's Farm didn't make that much money, and unfortunately it did go bust. But again, that's because once you do have that awakening, and I feel like they really did have a spiritual awakening back then, you want to give, you know, and so they weren't about receiving that much. They took donations.
They probably weren't about making money or thinking about in a business. They were thinking about love and you know.
And these are all really famous writers and Harvard teachers and scholars, you know, like it's a phenomenal story. And every time I delve in and I read about someone else, you know, from on that farm, it's just amazing. So this has been going on for a very long time before the industrialization periods commenced. So this is definitely the way that, you know, the world needs to go.
Yeah. I love it.
Back to love.
Back to love. We've got to come back into this heart energy. You know, we've got to just, I don't know, feel this sense of belonging with ourselves so that we can become who we are. I just wanted to share something before we kind of finish up. But my husband was showing me this article or this story about this girl. I think she was in America, and she found a bee that didn't have wings. And so she kept it, and she made a little garden for it, like with the flowers, so it could still go and collect the pollen, and even though it had no wings, and the little bee would only stay with her, and she'd introduce it to her friends, but she felt safe with just this one person. And you know how bees have a 28-day cycle.
Oh, I didn't know that. But there was
Yeah,
a
but
fly
she
that
would
just
also
flew in
take
front of
it,
your camera, by the way.
huh?
There was
There's
a fly that just flew in front of your camera.
oh,
Could be a bee.
but this, and she would take it outside and let it be with all the other bees that could fly, and she spent all this time with the bee, and they end up like being able to communicate with each other.
Oh,
And obviously she was amazed because on day 30 the bee was still alive, which, you know, they normally pass on day 28. And then I think it was 2 days later, the bee did pass away, and she was like, she realized in that moment how deeply she was connected.
oh, wow.
You know, because she was really sad, and in such a short space of time, she had so much love for something that they couldn't communicate, but they were communicating.
Yeah.
There's that fly there.
Yeah.
So they were speaking to each other in another language, which is universal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to say, like, that just goes to show us that we're connected to everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something we need to think about more often, is our connection into everything, like into the trees, into the animals, into the sky, into the earth, into each other.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
feel
nice. I think you just healed my little heart then.
I know.
Thank you.
And I was like, you really need to watch this. And I watched it and I was like,
How
it
about
was
we
so
put that
beautiful.
can we put that clip up on our post
If
as
I can
well?
find it, because he just showed me. I'm sure I can find it.
Okay. No pressure.
I'll research girl with bee.
Here we go. No pressure. It was a lovely story though. It does go to show and you know Eckhart Tolle and Tolle and all those guys, they always say, and I think you said this actually Reaya the other week on one of our moon medicine videos. Yeah, stop and smell the roses and give gratitude to it, because the more that we connect in with nature, we don't realize, but we're actually energy exchanging within that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, what
Like
a way to end.
This morning I went for a walk, because I've got this thing every day. I'm going to go and connect with nature, and I'm going to go walk before I start work.
Yeah.
And this morning it was kind of raining a little bit, and I was walking at any rate, and I looked over, and there was this massive kookaburra just sitting on the fence, just watching me. So we just stood there and we were like having this little conversation. I was asking him how he's doing. I was asking him what's going on, and we just like exchanged some information, and we said goodbye.
Yeah, they're the great ancients.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was just sitting there. He was like just being.
Yeah.
You know, just hanging out on the back of the fence. Just like, yeah.
And that's all we really need to do, to be honest, just be.
Yeah. Just be still. The more silent we are, the more that our soul speaks.
Yeah. But just be ourselves as well. Like, you know, just allow ourselves to be.
Yeah.
And on that note,
we're going to wrap this up. Just one other question for anybody that's listening. If anybody has a story or wants to share about spiritual awakening, or has kind of, I don't know, something that's spiritual that's happened to them, or maybe they've connected to spirit guides, or maybe they're going through some past life energy, anything that you would like to share or talk about, you can either jump on with us, or we can just read your story or whatever. Anyway, we'll add out both of our emails below, so feel free to reach out to us at any time.
Yeah, definitely. God, I'd
We'd
love to hear
get
that.
some people on here. We'd love to interview some people.
Yeah, we're gonna have thousands of listeners. Well, we have we have we have millions of listeners.
Millions.
So
millions and millions and millions. How do you manifest? By millions.
Surrender.
The building, how much?
Yeah, I'd love to hear those stories. You know, yeah, that'd be awesome if you could share. Yeah. And yeah, have you had any vivid dreams that you want to share? Yeah, any magical moments?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, it's 11:55 on the clock AM, which is great change.
This is a wrap from both of us, and we both send lots of love to all of our listeners, and we wish you an amazing week. And stay tuned for more, because we'll definitely be back.
Yeah. Thank you to all our listeners.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
you.